When someone says Samsung M series smartphones, it reminds me of the good old days, the Samsung M32, M52, M62. Back then, M used to stand for more, as in more value for less money, and Samsung M series phones were, well, they still are the alternatives to Samsung Galaxy A series phones, but back then they really used to deliver more for less money. Now, things feel a bit different. For example, they recently launched the Samsung Galaxy M36, but it feels exactly like the Samsung M35. If you look at the spec list, are there even any real improvements? Not really. Well, some things will feel like downgrade. We'll get to that later. And then there's the price as well. Introductory offer prices 18,999 INR and 21,999 INR. Without the offer, the prices are 21,499 and 24,499. And for that price, there are a lot of solid options. So it's a tough call. Should you buy the Samsung Galaxy M36? Well, you'll know that by the end of this video. I'm Anmol Shrestha and you're watching TechLekh. There's one definite improvement, and that's the design and the build quality. The Samsung M36 feels refreshed and the build quality feels superior than the M35. Feels noticeably better. Well, even though they are still using the plastic back and the plastic frame, this feels much more refined. The material used and the finishing feels refined. But then Samsung has decided to bring back this Infinity U notch. I'll have to say, I think this is Samsung's favorite budget phone design feature. Like Samsung M35 gave us the hole punch design, but then M36 is bringing this back. Like, why? Makes no sense. The design is totally different than the Samsung M35. Well, this looks similar to the Samsung M16, which is cheaper than this. You get a side-mounted fingerprint sensor, a down-firing single speaker, and a dual SIM tray. The down-firing single speaker is loud but sounds average. In 2025, dual stereo speakers should be bare minimum. Why are we still stuck with a single speaker? The protection remains unchanged, Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on the front, just like the Samsung M35, and honestly for the price that is really good. Not many phones can boast that. And then there's the chunky bottom bezels, just like the Samsung M16. And what's missing? Any sort of IP rating, and for the price that's non-negotiable. Another missing thing is the chipset upgrade. So it uses the same Exynos 1380 chipset as the Samsung M35, so an old chipset, which would have been fine if the performance were good, but no, for the price there are a lot of better performing smartphones such as the Xiaomi Fold 2 Pro, Poco X7, Realme P3 Pro. They easily outperform this smartphone. Well, it holds up just fine in normal tasks such as app opening, switching between tasks is okay, but the problem becomes apparent when it comes to gaming. So PUBG Mobile runs just fine. It supports smooth graphics at extreme FPS, averaging around 59.5 FPS with no heating issues. But with Genshin Impact, it struggles. Even on low graphics with a 60 FPS cap, there are visible frame drops, and the average FPS is just 39.4 and the phone heated up to 46 degrees Celsius, which is not a good thing. So the phone heats up really bad when you're playing games such as Genshin Impact, and 46 degrees Celsius, that's really bad. So Samsung M36 does not really deliver when it comes to performance. Now something that Samsung does really well even in budget smartphones are the displays, and it's the same story here. It's a good 6.7-inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED panel with 120 Hz refresh rate. The refresh rate optimization is really nice. The scrolling feels super smooth and the auto switching works well as well. The brightness is adequate. The outdoor visibility is not a problem. I did not have any issues viewing this display under direct sunlight. The colors are vibrant as well, so the content viewing experience is enjoyable. But for the price, the display specs is not the best. Now, one of the redeeming qualities of the smartphone is the camera setup. So on the back, we have a 50 megapixel main camera with OIS, a 8 megapixel ultra wide angle sensor and a 2 megapixel macro sensor, and on the front we have a 13 megapixel front camera. Samsung's camera are usually solid even in budget phones, and in this phone I found the video performance to be really nice, even better than the photos. So the stabilization here is really nice thanks to OIS. The videos look stabilized even while panning or while walking, and the stabilization works well even in 4K videos. So that's one of the strong suit of the Samsung M36, and the 4K video has very good sharpness, the detail is nice, the colors look vibrant, and even the dynamic range is good. Well, the ultra wide is limited to 1080p, so the video is not really appealing. Like the dynamic range feels limited, and the detail is not that good, and the sharpness is really low, so ultra wide is not really nice. Now photos are okay, so sharpness feels slightly lacking when shooting faces or foliage, but colors are vibrant and exposure is usually good. Sometimes HDR is inconsistent and exposure can be off in tricky lighting conditions like in these photos. Now digital zoom is available, but zoomed photos don't look great, so it's best avoided. Now portraits come out soft sometimes, but edge detection is generally solid. Overall, nice portraits. Now ultra wide photos have similar colors to the main camera, but less sharpness and some edge noise. That's pretty standard at this price. No real complaints, but it could have been better. Now selfies on the other hand are actually good. Nice details, natural skin tone and balanced colors. I actually like the selfies more than the photos from the main camera. So when M series phones were gaining popularity, it had massive batteries like 6000 mAh like the M35. But M36 has downgraded that to 5000 mAh, and honestly, yes, this is slimmer, but I would like a bigger battery. So it's disappointing that one of the strong suits of the M series smartphones is now gone. Like that too, when some of the other companies are offering very big battery capacity, like the recently launched OnePlus Nord CE5 has 7100 mAh battery. Still, the M36 manages 1 to 1.5 DF modal usage, and that would be like 5 to 5.5 hours of screen on time. The only full upgrade is in software. It now ships with Android 15 and One UI 7. And here's the best part, Samsung promises 6 years of security and OS updates. And the One UI experience is better than ever. It is fast, fluid and smooth. Some new AI features include the AI enhanced object eraser. So this is in gallery. So it comes in very handy when you have to remove object or some people from the background. Then there's circle to search. You can use it to search images, text or even music searches. And then there's the Google Gemini, the enhanced version for personal assistant style tasks. So Samsung M36 is exactly same as the M35 specs wise. A few upgrades are limited to design, build quality, display and software. But sadly, M series signature feature is not there, the massive battery, and also the old M series charm that used to be more for less is not there anymore. So all things considered, Samsung M36 does not push the bar. It is a very safe and uninspired release. You can find better value elsewhere like the CMF Phone 2 Pro, the Realme P3 Pro, Realme 13 Pro and Poco X7. Likewise, for a slightly higher price tag, you can go for the Moto H50, Poco X7 Pro and even the Nothing Phone 3A that provide a lot of better performance and better cameras. So M36 does not just cut it.
TechLekh.